the front to back 5v5, no?
Kill the Cho! Wow!
This is actually interesting.
It's actually really good because I think they're anticipating the Fanny pick for Navi. That's why they go Hilda Cho. They're not trying to build for the rest of the team. Instead, they're trying to build for that last pick. If Navi still go Fanny, that's a tough game. This Hilda Cho is really gonna... Yeah, they had to pivot. They had to pivot there. I think they were planning to go Fanny, but then they saw the Hilda Cho. They were like, okay, you know what? Never mind.
Keep in mind that EVOS, they can deny the odds for playoffs for Navi right here, right now. Will Navi be able to prolong it? Let's witness it together.
Navi need to get a clean sweep. It's a Cho XP. Okay. The recent buffs to Cho, does it make it viable in XP?
I guess we'll find out this game. Is he gonna build some damage though, knowing that it's Luke, or is he gonna build for utility and play for the team? If he goes full damage, there's a lot of danger available for EVOS, but they won't have a lot of frontliners to really stay in the front. Key will be taking up the brunt of the damage. And so far, good coverage from Navi here, predicting the bit of the invades. Even though Luke was able to go for a cut, really haven't found anything, but I guess he got intelligence, knowing where Navi is starting, where they're gonna pass towards.
Yeah, I mean, with the box check combination as well, right?
Wow.
Well, let's see here. Talent-wise, before we touch on the composition, anything? Okay, the Cho went for the Wilderness, so more rotations alongside that Zushin and that Hilda.
So putting them together for both Jise and Afro though, so battle spells are definitely important for them. They want to really push a tempo as well with all the engage potential. With the box shot, that's certainly a viable idea, but not a lot of lanes really have a good gank ability here for Navi, so they're going to be really tricky with how they want to path and mask their intentions.
Yeah. Triky's in the bench though, so that's going to be kind of tough for EVOS. I love the Cho XP though, when you have a Hilda here, right? Because if you put Hilda XP, Cho rogue, you're not going to get Cho's advantage the way the Dragon. He's going to have it now, and Doryu, I think it's going to be a very easy kick for Luke.
Let's see here. Navi is touching the turtle, not just yet committing. So Albert wants level 5 here. He's rotating towards the purple buff.
Yep. He's already doing damage over on Cars, trying to bait out that penalty zone. A good job now. Look at the zoning. They actually don't do it. This is the classic EVOS that we saw last week. They see Navi with a neutral objective composition. They just let Airline farm.
Good discipline there, not to really force anything as well. Now with that, Airline was able to get some easy farming off technically, but EVOS, if they can, you know, pivot over and use that to steal some more camps to kind of get other objectives around the map, especially in the mid game, it's going to be difficult for Navi to keep up. As we take a look at the talent predictions by GoPay, very one-sided.
So one-sided.
Is EVOS back?
I think EVOS is back, man. According to us, at least, right? Most of us went for 2-0. Only Nevin, of course, staying on trend.
Yeah.
2-1. But yeah, so far so good though. I like how EVOS, they're not panicking, right? During the turtle fight against the Baksha, it's tougher. So yeah, EVOS, they don't mind losing a turtle. At least the first one.
Especially against this kind of comp. No real issue doing that. As long as they keep effective farming around the map, it's fine. And they avoid this big team fight composition, the big bad team fight that Navi have drafted. So they're playing to their strengths here. And hopefully in the mid game, with a couple more items, they'll be able to go for pickoffs for 1v2s, you know, or 2v1 ganks and skirmishes, and really start getting the ball rolling. Because if they start snowballing, this is a terrifying composition for EVOS.
Really is.
Again, EVOS here, 4 minutes in. Nothing too crazy here. 0 kills on the board, Arashi, you know.
Yep.
We mentioned, a lot of people are mentioning that EVOS, they are starting to look like a PH team. It seems like at least so far, they do not go for kills, right? They do not go for an early crazy gank. But we might see more action here in the mid lane, especially the turtle now is up. My guess is Albert is level 8 and Doryu now is level 7. So they have better odds if they want to contest, but it seems like EVOS rotation-wise, they want to concede again.
especially with one man already loaded, might be a bit too risky. Oh, this gag go, whoa!
All in, even the Tsunami Slam on key. And they're able to get on the board. 2 neutral objectives and a kill. But look at Albert and Luke. Straight into the bottom lane they go. Straight into looking for those trades.
I mean, it looked good for Navi, but they used almost everything they got to take out a Hilda. You know, it's fine to do it here, but if they are going to be forced to do that later on in the fight, it's looking dangerous. And now, it's a bit lane clear from EVOS. Blazing Duet even. And they denied Navi any kind of trade.
Wow, and they get a turret for free down below. Well, not for free, that was the trade that they were looking for. But they're still ahead in gold. 2 neutral objectives and a kill to Navi. But EVOS are the ones ahead.
Yeah, Albert, his pattern is unbothered, right? Right now, rotation-wise, I think he, again, now with a lane clear as well, so he is at level 9. Still a level ahead, just keeping that gap here steady, and with the structure taken away from the side of Navi, that allows more avenues for the side of EVOS, especially the next neutral objective is in the bottom side of the map. So with the turret down already from the side of Navi, EVOS definitely can hold more bushes later on. And perhaps not give away the perfect turtles that easy towards Navi.
It really feels like the calm before the storm for Navi, man, because at some point here, EVOS are gonna try and make a play, and Navi have no idea when that's gonna be. So it has to be bugging this a little bit. Mystic Gush already used as well.
That's a
Wait, it won't be available for the next turtle fight if EVOS choose to go for it.
Yeah, not too big of a fan of that usage there. And you can already see Albert taking control of the bottom lane. He is 2 levels ahead of Andoryu. This should be the moment where they contest the neutral objective.
Yeah, as expected as well, right? With the control with the map for Navi, though, it seems like they are in it as well. 4 members already, 5 members even with Xeon rotating. Claude is still top.
Apro, good look for the jump, is able to find the jump on key, but I don't think you want to use the Tsunami Slam there. Few stacked up on Andoryu, picks him up with the Lancer Flare. Andoryu wins at the retreat battle as Luke walks up now. Mystic Gush coming down, but look at the back line. His key is able to disrupt them. A flicker around of safety as Zaya pops in Zaman Force. That's a Crimson Beacon coming down as Erlan gets peeled off by Few. And it's a straight up win for Navi. Perfect turtle, and yet another kill.
Yeah, great composure.
Whoa! Oh, what a kick by Luke into the blazing duet of Erlan. And then the BMI out. That's Cars with a trade back, as they are able to shove the bottom lane to take another turret down below. Apro jumping forward, able to find Key. That's a Zaman Force from Zeon, doing a lot of damage, and Key will fall to Zeon. And lots of the kills, gets caught by the hammer of Cars, and a lift up now as Zeon will have to respect it.
Wow, impressive stuff here from side of Navi, right? And not, again, they were pressured on that third turtle, Rashi, but they held their ground, kept their composure, got the turtle, got the kill, and in the mid lane there was an engage from Luke, but again they were able to fire back.
They almost took down the middle turret as well, so Navi, very impressive there. They didn't really rush anything despite the pressure. They were able to catch Albert, so all that farming, all the advantage that EVOS were working at didn't really come to bear in a team fight. And then afterwards, the response there, even though Luke kind of surprised them, I mean, it's looking very composed, man. Navi now with a 2K lead after that sequence of events. This is not how EVOS were planning this game to go.
And Andoryu stole that turtle with a box shot against the studio, who that was down. 2 levels down, exactly. He was 2 levels down at that point, and the box shot was able to sneak a turtle, which again allows Navi to have that shield, right? So they were that confident for a fight, but 2K gold here is not enough to set a game unless they really nail it in the coffin here in this Lord fight. Bottom side is slowly pushing for Navi, so EVOS, they are the ones who got the pull the trigger.
Let's see it. Luke jumping forward, Tsunami Slam coming down. That's going to be the lockdown onto Luke. He's able to go to Shenpu, flickers out the safety as well. The penalty zone lands on field. Lantern Flare and a Zeon. Zaman Force doing so much damage into the back. He goes! Zeon gets rid of the 2-time world champ. Luke with the way to Dragon, desperately trying to survive. That's Jize with the projectile, landing it on Luke.
EVOS is back, said Navi. Not just yet. 2,500 gold lead with 3 members off the board. This Lord should be there as Albert is caught there, so no more cheeky angles. And Navi, they can double their gold lead here if they manipulate their waves perfectly. And they have more control
No
for
way.
game 1.
Navi might do it, dude.
I mean, it's looking good. They also have a really good scaling composition. EVOS has the Claude, but aside from the Claude, everyone else aren't really team fighting heroes. So the more control Navi has around the map, if they can equalize on these structural differences, it's going to be a tough time for EVOS, but that's a good steal from Albert, taking away the purple buff. But what else can they get?
Now, a quiet game here so far for Albert. Oh, that's a stun!
Yeah, Mystic Gush doing so much damage. Few gets out with the Crimson Beacon as Luke holds in the wave in the mid lane, and the bottom lane continues to push in. Good projectile again by Jize on the gourd. Such a menace.
Impressive stuff so far. The Holy Shield here will be triggered.
Oh!
Navi.
Wow.
I'm sure they do not want to engage here, Navi. As for EVOS, you know, with Luke, Flicker still down, less avenues for a potential engage. So what can they do now is just hold on, you know. They will lose the mid-turret though. Oh, that's an engage.
Jumping forward, Luke already targeted down, has away the dragon, but now will get cooked by Kars. Tsunami slam on Albert!
Kars.
And a penalty zone as well. Airline gonna be cooked by Seon! And the gush of Jize takes Albert out! It's just Few and Key. They got horrible wave clear. Navi are still 5-man strong. Few with the Crimson Beacon out of the way from the shield unity. Now it's gonna be Key, locked down by Navi. They're gonna go straight for the base. The cannon minion is still very, very healthy. Navi! Can they do it? Few gets the wave cleared just in time. 7 seconds for Erlan. Luke's coming back up as well. Zamina spawn back in the game.
Whoa!
The jump of the way to Dragon, locking Cars down under turret. Cars gonna take a lot of a beating under turret and will fall as well. Few gets the kill on Jize and he continues the chase.
Navi overstays, and EVOS got 2 members off the board. And that was a shutdown bounty on a kill on Cars.
Man, 4-man Jeet Kune Do by Luke. Going with the moves there, Navi. They overstayed and they clumped up for the play. We were talking about Luke's flicker not being up. The moment it is, the play was right there waiting for him.
Yep.
That's a good shutdown, but again, Navi still has the control. They gotta be careful of the playmaking tools of EVOS though, right? As long as everything gets engaged on Navi's terms, things are still looking good for them.
Yeah, now they gotta reassess, right?
Wow.
They will lose the mid-turret here, which, you know, I have to say, they can't afford to lose that mid-turret, but they cannot lose they cannot afford to lose more with the Lord top. It is very fortunate for EVOS that it is not the far lane here, right? The Lord will be up in the top corner. And take a look at the damage that Erlan received there. But with that in mind, no flicker on Luke. I'm sure they're keeping tabs here. So Navi, they can be confident and, you know, be more initiative on this Lord fight.
Crimson Beacon out of the way, beautifully used, but that's a big resource to be using up. Luke jumps in with G2 Do. Oh, they've got a crazy position in the back. Apro opening up, now walking up as well, but Albert's able to get the Blade Surge out of the way. That blink. Bottom lane wave doesn't look good for EVOS. Apro gonna be picked up by Fuse Lantern Flares. Key goes into the back line, and now they go for the retreat battle, and Daryu wins it out. A penalty zone locks Albert down, and Zeon goes in for the damage. Zeon kicked away by the way of the Dragon now as he tries to go on his Amon Force again, and it's Key who's able to flicker out too. Now beyond the chase, but EVOS, they're able to retreat.
Both teams still standing with 5 members respectively, but Navi, they got a 6-man that is right now marching in the top lane. And if EVOS mispositions, that might be an end angle in Navi. They are trying to exploit that.
Watch for a big Mystic Projectile here, because Jize is doing a ton of damage. Only 3 items, pressuring for the bottom turret right now.
This is a far lane turret. This is going to be massive. They get it! Oh! What a Tsunami Slam! Perfect targeting as Key tries to distract them in the back. Albert dealing with the Lord. Key just running away, pulling them out of the base.
Key's distracting here, right? Buying his team time. But yeah, that is 2 lane, the side lanes of turrets gone. And they're looking for the mid lane.
Oh,
Man, that lightning charge does a ton of damage. Whoa!
Again, it's Albert with a Tsunami Slam. Albert able to get away, but a penalty zone locks him down. Pew getting the Crimson Beacon in time as Erlan pops into Blazing Web, but the Mystic Gush zones him away with a Zaman Force as well. Zeon is massive. That's a Quella and a jump in forward with the Blade Surge. They're trying to clear the wave, but Zeon is locked into the base. Hold on now! Erlan with the damage. Luke with the shutdown. Now he's in the midst of it all as Erlan is able to get the guns over on cars. Oh! Projectile to purify out by Pew. Luke gets away just barely in time as Endoryu pops in the shield unity. Looks for the jump, but the BMI out from Erlan stops Navi in their tracks. It's just 3 base turrets down, not an end.
EVOS can breathe for another day as they have defended their main base right here. I thought this opening was the opening that will end game 1, but take a look at the recovery, Erlan's positioning, and of course the opening from Luke, who will recall here, or I mean respawn. Bam! Right? Finds that cheeky opening, and EVOS are able to fight back. Now the goal lead is practically neutral. It's okay.
But they got all the base turrets though, Navi, so that's
still a big win.
massive value. And if they get the Evolved Lord, it won't be as simple as a big combo coming in from EVOS. The damage alone though, earlier, after the Tsunami Slam, I thought it was over based on that alone. Albert wasn't like the main target, and he got chunked down to less than a quarter of HP within a second.
Ouch.
Like, Navi has some insane burst damage potential right here. So EVOS, they haven't played carefully, but they're gonna have to find even more ways to confuse Navi in the next Lord fight.
How do they do that, right? Because
It's tough.
Navi can just pull the trigger. They have a composition that's so good in the team fights.
In this sort of like scenario, it is definitely tough here for EVOS. They will pull the trigger on the Lord here, discovering keys and fuse whereabouts as well.
I mean, they have so many ways to bait out like the defensive tools as well. The Mystic Projectile, Afro can even threaten the Tsunami Slam. And
Oh! Mystic Gush! Almost catching Erlan. Thank goodness for the Rose Gold Meteor that Erlan purchased right before that skirmish.
All spells are still up here from both teams, so expect a big fight here on this Lord. Navi, do they want the Lord or do they want to fight?
Oh my goodness!
Oh!
The burst from Zeon! Look at the way the dragon, but it's only on some few. That's a Crimson Beacon to the back line as Endori's able to land the shield. Unity pops into Poison's as well as Zeon gets rid of Luke's immortality, but Albert secures the neutral objective. They use Erlan as a sacrifice. Now it's Albert trying to run away, but it's against 2 frontliners here. Opera with the healing, Albert with the Queller. That's key with the immortality buy as he runs away as well. It's a lockdown on Albert, but he's still able to get the Blade Surge as he buys the immortality in time as well. Still the damage, still the Blade Surge, and Key flickers out to safety. 13 seconds for Erlan. Key is down for a few seconds with the immortality, and now he's down for good. No Winter Crown in time. Erlan back in the game in 5 seconds. Albert trying to clear out the wave. The Lord dealt with by Navi. Slowly but surely. Now the shield unity, but Albert is still able to clear out in time. Tsunami Slam to lock Albert down, and with the jump as well. Albert's immortality is down. Buy the items in time. No, he cannot. It is Endoryu with a kill, and another wave in the bottom lane. Luke's back up. Zeon already on for Mystic Gush from GZ! And the damage from Zeon. It is all over for game number 1. Navi starts the series off.